So I get it. You may not be able to go to a gym, whether your gym's still closed because of all this crazy COVID stuff, or maybe you just don't have time to drive to where a gym is. Maybe there's not one near you. Whatever the reason may be, there's a lot of reasons of why we may be working out at home these days. And I want to kind of break down how to work out from home, how to make it possible, and all that. So get ready for episode 167. Let's go.
The future of fitness.
How do you gain muscle mass?
Fitness is not complicated. It's simple when you break it down.
There's so much information out there.
No fads, no diets, just plain simple habits.
You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's podcast. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host. I'm ready to dive into another full episode. But before we do, if you have not been to our YouTube channel, please go check it out. I have tons of full workouts. And while we're on the topic of, creating your home workout, I have a lot of videos on there that demonstrate home workouts. So youtube.com/bones2bulk. All right, with that being said, let's dive in. So whatever the reason is for working out at home, I get that it can be very necessary sometimes. And so how do you create a home gym? How do you, make sure you stay on top of it? How do you stay disciplined for it? And first off, let me just preface it with, it's tough. Even for me, I have a pretty well stocked home gym, and it can still be challenging to face the discipline you really need to work out at home. Because when you go into a gym, you don't have options to do other things. You're there, you're at the gym, you're going to work out. Whereas when you're at home, you may have distractions of, other people or kids running in and out, and you may have a million things to do at home. And so there's a lot more distractions, let's just say that, when you're working out at home. And so I understand that, and it can be tough, but it's definitely possible to build the discipline. The first thing you have to do, you have to approach it the same way you would going to a normal gym. You have to set out a certain amount of time. You have to make it a priority, and you have to build a routine. Just like if you go to a gym, you have to have a set routine. There's a time that works for you to do it. Make sure that you're setting a set routine at home. Don't just, when I feel like it or when I have some extra time, I'll go work out. No, make it a scheduled thing so that you're doing it at the same time each day, and so that it's still a very big part of your routine. Second thing is, what do you need? Like, how much equipment do you need? And I understand that, you may not have access to a lot of equipment, and that's fine. You can do so much with just a few sets of dumbbells and a bench, for real. And, for me personally, none of my equipment I bought new. I went on Facebook Marketplace and I purchased all my equipment used. And yeah, you may have to be a little more patient with, finding the things you need, but it's a great resource, and you can often pick up used stuff for a fraction of the cost of what it is new. So it's just some basic elements of things that I recommend having in your gym. Number one, dumbbells. Whether you buy adjustable dumbbells, whether you buy the individual ones, and if you buy the individual ones, have at least 3 different weights. That's my suggestion. Have a very light weight, have an in-between weight, and have a heavy weight. That way it gives you a good variety to whether you're doing, moderate exercises, heavy lift exercises, you're going to have at least a few options to choose from. With dumbbells, you can literally work out every single muscle in your body. You can do bench press, you can do bicep curls, you can do any tricep exercise, overhead tricep extensions, kickbacks, you can do skull crushers, you can do incline bench press once you add that bench in. Again, a bench and dumbbells is so universally helpful. And don't forget about squats. You can do squats, you can do goblet squats and front squats and back squats and lunges and Bulgarian split squats, all while holding dumbbells. So the notion that you have to have like all this equipment in this decked out gym, you really don't. You don't need much to get started. A couple other things that could be helpful is a few resistance bands of different, tensions. They can be helpful twofold. You can just use them, or you can add them to some of your dumbbell workouts if you're using light dumbbells to increase the resistance and difficulty of it. If you are trying to get in a little bit of cardio, jump roping is a great form of that. Jump roping actually burns more calories than any other cardio related activity. At least like your typical ones. I'm not talking maybe like running a marathon or something like that, but just, minute per minute running or biking or rowing. Jump roping is by far, it gets your heart rate up the most and burns the most calories. Also, don't be afraid to get creative. You can build your own boxes to do box jumps or step ups. You can build a makeshift sled out of some wood and throw some weight on there and pull it. So there's a lot of different options when we start thinking outside the box of what we can do from home, because we can get very, just in this little bubble of, oh crap, I don't have access to a gym, so I just can't gain weight. And that's simply not true. When you think of the mechanics of almost every single exercise, even if, you're used to doing them on machines or you're used to having fixed weights for it, think about the movement and think about how you can do any exercise again with dumbbells. So I can't preach dumbbells enough as far as being the universal piece of workout equipment. Now, a couple other things that can help just getting you motivated is, having a specified place for your workout, even if it's just a spare bedroom, if it's a corner of your garage, set it up to where it really stimulates you. Put some posters up that motivate you, decorate it how you want, clean up the space a little bit. This goes a long way because if we're just kind of in a very cluttered space, it can help clutter our mind, if that makes sense, to where when we go work out, we're thinking about the mess, we're thinking about the clutter, and we're not focusing on the task at hand. So, clean up your space, make it nice. You don't have to have a lot of space to do this, but just make it yours, make it your own space. Get some speakers. I have some Bluetooth speakers that I bought off of Amazon. It's like a 3-set. It's got a subwoofer with it. Wasn't very expensive and it pumps pretty good. And I just, connect it to my phone, play some Spotify playlists. That helps so much get me motivated. I can't even tell you because, again, at home, it can be harder to get motivated. Once I crank the music up and I'm in the space, it makes it so much easier. So definitely get a set of speakers. You can also throw up like a flat screen in the room that you're working out in. You put on some YouTube motivational videos or some motivational music or music videos or whatever it is that gets you pumped. And that's another way to stay motivated. Used cardio equipment, if you're trying to add in some cardio, is usually super cheap online. You can pick up bikes and treadmills that, people with good intentions buy and then resell, and you get them for a fraction of the cost. So again, I just want to use this to kind of make you think outside the box that you don't have to have a gym in order to gain muscle. And then, so if that's not an option for you, there's other ways to do it. So don't feel overpressure. Don't feel, insignificant because I don't have access to a big box gym. So what? Do what you can with what you have. You'll see great results and you can do so much with so little. If there's one other piece of equipment I would suggest, it is a pull-up bar. Whether you get one of the doorway ones, whether you build your own, I have one that's made out of a couple brackets and a metal pipe. It's just drilled into a beam in my garage and it works. And, pull-ups are a great way to work out muscle groups, something a little bit outside of just lifting weights. And you can grab a resistance band to assist with them. And I would say that's another must-have piece of equipment for your home gym. All right, so I hope this sparks some ideas, gives you some motivation to get after it and not feel stuck if you don't have access to a gym. And again, if you are on any social media platform, please connect with me. I would love to connect with you. We have a great group over on Facebook. You can just search Bones to Bulk. Also, join our text community by texting the word podcast to 706-222-7551. You will be joined to our text community, and each week I send out a few texts, like maybe some recipes, some motivation, some fitness tips. So definitely get in on that. All right. Remember, no matter what obstacles you're facing, what things you're coming up against, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. You've got this.